What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another TCR podcast with your boy Impromando. And who do we have over there?
Lily Bay in the house, like always.
And it's an amazing Wednesday today because you guys are with us. And we have a huge announcement today. Huge announcement.
Más trabajo.
Is that last week we decided to go with a shorter podcast, según nosotros, que that was going to be a better idea. And you guys hated that idea. I received so much comments, so much hate. People threatened me. And
You're lying. Get threatened you.
It was just really bad. You guys hated the 25-minute podcast. And even one of my friends called me over. He's like, bro, if you're going to do a 25-minute podcast, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Moving on. So, yeah. We are no longer thinking about that. We're not doing no 25-minute podcast for sure. We're going to do like at least 45 minutes today. At least. What's your take on that, babe?
My take on it is that I'm going to talk a lot
slower to make them longer. I think that's cheating.
I'm just kidding.
Look, it's funny
I don't
though.
mind.
I'm gonna read some comments. I'm gonna put you guys out. Juliana said, 20-minute podcast mejor guárdenselo para la next. Minimum 45 minutes, in my humble opinion. No, don't make the podcast shorter. Ay, voy otra vez. I like the longer podcasts, but I still appreciate your videos. So that was nice from AB. And I just screenshotted so many. Last one is, podcast is too short, 45 minutes at least.
All right, we gotcha. Hey, to make it up, we'll give you an extra to add.
La madre, porque vaya un poquito de tiempo. I'm just saying, because Lily Babe was on time today. Very surprising. I told her, babe, we're going to record at this time, and let's start at this time, and she's here right there.
Well,
ready.
I got like 12 hours of sleep. So
yeah, we knocked out in bed yesterday.
At 8.
No.
Wait, should I take off my rubber bands? Does it matter?
I don't think it matters. As long as you're comfortable here on the podcast, we're good.
All right, it's going to be the first time I'm wearing my rubber bands on the podcast, so don't judge me.
Don't
please.
judge her. But I would like to start with something that hit home, something that we experienced over the weekend, and that is going on currently here in Florida, right? Mm-hmm. It's the ICE and all the immigration things going on here in Florida. It's crazy, right? Yeah. So just a little recap. There was a big ICE raid over in Tallahassee. They took over 150 undocumented workers from a job site. The job site was huge. They were building dorms for the college, I think in Tallahassee, right? Okay. They were building it, and now what's going on from all that? Like now they're like worried that these dorms are not going to be ready for college starting in the fall. So,
which is the least of my concerns.
Yeah, we're not worried about that. The thing that hit home for us was that a couple of the guys arrested who were they, babe?
They were some tenants of my mom, and I personally didn't know them, but I've seen them around for years and years. They've been living at one of my mom's properties from afar. Remember, I don't live with my parents. I'm not there, so I would randomly see them here and there when we would be at the store at the same time. But they've been tenants for my mom for over 7 years. And don't think just because they hit home, it finally made us feel bad. No, we've always felt bad from day one. Like you guys have seen that I've been reposting whenever you guys send me, especially things that are going on in Florida with the immigration. The border patrol has been over here like by Stephen Dover area for the past few weeks. And I would be reposting whenever I knew where they were at just to spread awareness. So, even before this happened with the big ICE raid in Tallahassee, a friend of mine who has over 15 vans of people that work for him, he lost 2 or 3 people's worth of vans, or 2 or 3 vans worth of people. I don't know how many each van had. It's those big old work vans that fit 13, 14, 15 people in there. And I know that hit him very, very hard. When I found out about it, I felt devastated for him. These workers have been his family basically for years. 15 plus years. So he was devastated when all this happened. And what can you do, Yeah,
unfortunately right now, there's literally nothing me and Lily could do but bring awareness and let people know that this is literally going on instead of staying silent, you know? So that's what we're doing.
So fast forward to the ICE raid in Tallahassee, and then my mom. I didn't even know about it really until the next morning or the next day, and then my mom tells me that she thinks that her tenants were there, but she wasn't sure yet. She couldn't get a hold of them, and then fast forward to a few hours later, one of them was able to get away, like running away, y él fue el que le dijo a mi mamá todo lo que pasó, right? So obviously my mom's devastated, like todas sus cosas at the house, like what's going to happen. Obviously she's going to wait to see what happens because there's been rumors, but I don't believe it. But there's been rumors saying that they took all of them in, but if they don't have a criminal record that they'll let them go, which I'm like, I don't believe that, but we'll see, hoping and praying because según that's what a lot of people are fighting about, that, they're only I was literally fighting with somebody about that in the comments. Somebody that I know, not a friend of mine. It's like a friend's friend, a friend's neighbor at that. Basically, long story short, my friend reposted that ICE raid and his friend, the neighbor, went on to say like, they're only taking criminals. Don't worry about it, right? So then I went on like, no, the fuck they're not, honey. Like we know people, all the people that I'm telling you, all the work vans of people and my mom's tenants, none of these people were criminals. None of these people ever did anything. His comeback again, the people that think that way, that's just what they think. Oh, well, they didn't take him for being a good person and being here legally.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm just like,
they're literally building America. Literally.
Yeah. So, anyways, I went back and forth with this person for a little bit, but people like this are never going to get it. And it's heartbreaking because I tell Mando, like, we are blessed that we honestly don't have to go through that. Neither me nor Mando nor I had one tia that we were waiting for her to get papeles for a long time, but honestly, we don't really know people or
the struggle,
but we feel for them. Like we understand that it's not easy, right? Like just by seeing other people's stories and stuff and other people being taken. There was TikToks where a mom was being taken in front of her child. The child was trying to comfort her, like it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Another thing that I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but we could probably look into it right now, that DACA is not going to work in Texas no more. So people were like, damn, so even if we do it the right way now you guys don't want that neither. So again, we don't know the extent of all this, like how true it is. But I've been seeing all of this and I'm sure you guys have too. So
it says, however, DACA is ruled in Texas, but they can only receive protection from deportations, but will not receive work authorization in DACA, which I think that recently changed, which sucks because there's too much of this going on and it's looking like it's only getting worse, right? Because I was talking to a buddy of mine and his sales over at his shop have gone down a lot. And he doesn't know if one, everyone got deported, or two, these guys are just scared to go make purchases from his business. So it's affecting a lot of people all around. And we just hope that, there just comes some sort of change. And there's, like I said earlier, there's literally nothing we could do but bring awareness and
I wish
share
if
information.
There's anything that you guys know of, let us know of what we can do. Like what are the steps that we can take to fix this? Because I mean, over the years and years, you guys have seen a lot of protests. There's been a Black Lives Movement. Does that really ever fix anything? Yeah. Like, has anything...
Does it change anything?
Not saying that it doesn't, but I haven't seen the positive result on anything really, other than it spreading awareness. But are we just being like how do I say? Are we just yelling over here for nothing and nothing gets done? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of whatever the situation is, we know that our voice has to be heard. And little by little, I know there's been movements throughout history that because of people's voice, because of people being
like
loud,
Martin Luther King.
It worked.
There was a time, I feel, when that worked. Yeah. But is it working now? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that is like that's our mission too here on the podcast, is to bring awareness and to let you guys know what's going on in our lives and in the world. And that's what we're doing today. And literally it hit home, and we felt so bad when we heard that information, that news.
But at the end of the day, for now, aside from spreading awareness, we just hope and pray that things get better, that something happens, some changes happen, and people are not so scared to come out of home or to go to work or any of that. Because at the end of the day, like Mando said, they're just here to work. They're helping build America. Like you would think that by now, 2025, there would be something changing where it could make it easier for people to get their papers and to get to work here legally and all that. And I don't want to hear the people saying like, oh, it's easy. No, the fuck it's not. If it was, don't you think all these people would want to do it the right way and not live so scared?
Yeah, and it's crazy how, like, I mean, honestly, some people voted for certain people and now they feel bad for doing that.
We've
asked
a lot of people, and
they're like, I didn't think it was gonna go this way, or it's just too much change and it's being done incorrectly. But there's literally as much as we could do. But I think that's it for that subject. And like Lily said, we hope and pray that things get better. And moving on to today's subject, I was on TikTok live this morning, and actually 3 people said, talk about this. And I'm wondering, why did people even bring this subject up? Is it because June graduations, people are starting to live on their own? People are starting to fall in love? I don't know. Is there a transition going on? And they said things you should think about before moving in with someone, right? You ready?
I'm ready.
I jotted it down, and you're going to give us your opinion. You're going to say this or that, Number 1, money isn't romantic. Have the money talk early, right? Who's paying for what? Rent, groceries, bills. Don't wait until you already moved in to figure out who's covering that freaking Netflix bill, right? So what's your take on that? Just to be clear.
I would say 1,000% agree. And then based on that conversation, even, you will know, like, is this person for me? Right. Should I move out with this person? Because imagine he tells you, like, nah, you got to figure it out on your own. Like, no, you pay your bills, or like if your job fires you, then you got to figure it out because I'm only paying my part.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right now I'm struggling. I really can't do it, so I would need you to cover it. And then you're just graduated or whatever your case is going to be tough.
Yeah, because, for example, me and Mando, we didn't have this conversation. We're not going to lie.
Right.
But after we moved in, and I don't know, luckily, gracias a Dios, I kind of knew he was the one. We dated for a very long time before we moved in with each other. Most people, not a very long time, maybe like 2-3 years we dated.
Yeah, like almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's say 2.
And then we moved in with each other. So by then I felt comfortable enough that I know this guy and I know he has my back and he knows my situation. I know his. But a lot of people nowadays move in very, very fast.
And they're like, oh, shh.
Yeah, so I feel like having that conversation would be a big eye-opener for you. And give him those examples, like, okay, what if, the recession comes and I lose my job? Like, do you got my back?
Or vice versa.
Yeah, or what if after we have kids, I want to be a stay-at-home mom? Te vas a poner las pilas?
Yeah, and that's a big one because they hit them after. Yeah. They have the baby, and then they somehow sneak it in. Babe, I rather stay home. But they were always...
Like, it's not
structured to make that money.
Like, obviously, not everything's always going to be perfectly planned out, but at least you have a little grasp of the situation and kind of know clear what you're getting yourself into. Yep. Yeah.
This one's for Lily Bay, and I didn't know this. We should have had this conversation, but we're learning right here, right? Cleaning habits will test your love. Is one messy? Is the other one OCD? Little stuff like dirty dishes, laundry piles, or who takes out the trash. Things like that should be at least spoke about before moving in. I'm just saying this because I think this is important. And Lily Bay is a complete clean freak. And I'm a little messy, but not too bad. Not your typical man, I think. But go ahead. What's your take on that?
I think...
From our experience,
I think maybe not having to have the conversation.
Just know, right?
Because I think, like, if I would have brought that up, you would have been like, "What the fuck? That's weird." Like, okay, bitch, you're obviously psycho.
Surprised you didn't though.
The way that I kind of analyzed the situation was that I went to your home.
Okay.
I saw how
room.
were. I saw. Are you well kept?
That's
Are you
true.
well presented? Like, that's
true.
the way Now, if you guys were, if
You took notes, mental notes.
I feel like it's kind of weird if you bring it up really fast and y'all just started dating.
No.
But after some time, if you guys have been dating for a while, I would say that it's more easier. Like, okay, I need to know because I'm a clean freak. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it just depends on.
Yeah, and you start picking up
It's
those vibes.
not a bad thing to ask though at all. It's not bad, but I think maybe if you if we just got together and like I said, people are moving in really fast nowadays. And if I were to be like, okay, so are you gonna do the dishes or am I gonna do the dishes from before we even move in? You're kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're kind of expecting me to be a Karen at some point in a
Right.
relationship.
So instead of asking this question, you analyze
analyze
it, take mental notes, and then maybe throughout
see if he helps his mom at home. Like, do you help your mom at home ever?
That's true.
Like not like interrogating him with cleaning questions, but every once in a blue moon, just
The next one is the suegra will always have an opinion, always. From how you clean, from how you fold, nothing will be exactly as how she does it. Be ready for your suegra. Let's not talk about your suegra and mine, but we'll leave that towards the end of your part, right? Okay. But what's your take on the whole suegra situation? Because the suegra is going to be present, babe.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
The thing is that I guess we can talk about ours, right? Let me see. I've heard a lot and witnessed recently a lot of people go through it with their suegras. And I understand not all families are going to be picture perfect all the time. Not everything is going to go that way. But I would say I would have a conversation with your significant other about that situation if it were to come up. Like, okay, babe, like, are you in this for me and you, or are you like a mama's boy? And but again, you have to analyze these things before you even have this conversation. You should have already analyzed this from the get-go, and analyze how your suegra is and how he reacts to that and all that. And then tell yourself, are you okay to put up with this for the rest of your life? Or are you rather like go another way? But the reason why I would bring up the conversation is because you're going to be with this person ideally for the rest of your life, right? And a suegra situation like that can literally
make or break
your relationship. And you could be devastated, not devastated. You could just live amargada for the rest of your life because of that situation.
Because there's guys, let's talk about the guys. There's guys that won't say nothing to their mom in regards to however they're treating.
Like put their foot down.
They won't put their foot down. They'll just let it go. And they'll just make the whole situation worse. Yeah. When you could just say it at the beginning, you might get a week or a month of your mom being mad at you, but you fix that freaking situation versus staying quiet. Your girl doesn't like your mom, and that's it.
And I'm not saying like to be mad at your significant other about it. It's just, what are you going to do about it? Like for if your suegra is like that, that's on them. That's on the suegra. You can't change that.
There's
usually,
no way.
Right? But how's your husband gonna react about it? Babe, are you gonna take up for me? Like, kind of see what he says to you about it. Like, no, just ignore her. I can't live like that. Like, just ignore her. You're going to act like nothing happens. No, either put your foot down or...
Because we were in Mexico and a mom was talking about her son, how her son should have stayed with this girl that she really liked, right? And whatever, right? They were together for years. And then now he gets a new girl, but the mom is always going to be missing that girl from before, right? And if the mom doesn't even give the new girl a chance, it's over. Like it doesn't matter because the suegra is gonna want the old girl and then comparing her and whatever, right? So it's never gonna work out until the guy be like, "Mom, this is my new chick. This is who I'm with. This is who I love, and that's it. Forget about the other one." But if that that conversation's never done, valió madre todo.
It's just like, as long as you know your man got you and that he'll ideally, he could even bring it up first. Like, hey, babe, like, I'm just letting you know my mom is has a very old school mentality. She's just like that. Like, don't let it get to you. And if she's stepping out of line, don't worry. I would check her like every now and then. I still want to keep her in my life, but just know that she is a certain way.
Yeah, and talking about old school mentality is like, we're new generations. women aren't gonna sit there and make frijoles and cook all day. They're gonna Uber Eats and they're gonna maybe cook, you know.
Me.
But the mom is gonna be expecting that from you, from your nuera. But since it's old school mentality, it's not. It's not gonna happen. And then that's when those problems come of the suegra with the nuera and vice versa. It's just a mess. Like I said, conversation is key at this freaking
And
point.
the only reason I even bring this up, I even have this much to talk about to begin with, is because we've done a lot of segments where we talk about suegra beef or stories that have happened with you guys, and you guys just opened up my world to like really a whole nother new level. So now I know, right? But before this, I wouldn't have known because now I could talk about it.
Yeah.
I've never had no situations with my suegra or vice versa, right? Like I feel like both my mom and Mando's mom will do anything for us. Literally, they're the type that if they'll do anything for us, they get along.
And they both get along too, which is amazing.
Yeah. So like I said, we haven't had to go through these crazy stories that we hear about, but I know that they're out there. And now that I know, that's why I have this advice to
We
give.
got into the suegra talk. All right, next one is daily routines aren't always cute. The little habits you don't see while dating, like snoring, weird morning routines, phone calls. Just be ready. Just be ready for the random things that you weren't expecting from your partner. What would be a random thing that I do that you maybe weren't expecting?
Your naps.
That the beginning,
shit was crazy to me.
At the beginning, man, I miss those.
He
naps.
was like a kid. If he didn't take a nap, he would be moody. Just not all there with the attitude, like a little kid. When you know he needs a nap, that was Mando, 1,000%. And you guys know that if you run businesses, there's no time for naps.
Right. But
so
there's a little 10
like,
minutes sneak there here.
Yeah, you can make time. But at the beginning, especially when we were growing like crazy, like I was like,
we don't got time.
snap the fuck out of it. We got to do this stuff, bro, you know?
Well, one thing that, this is so random, guys, and it's happening right now.
What?
Lily Bay is allergic to makeup.
I am.
So every single time I'll pick her up, she was like
right now, what I'm doing, like
every single
like
time, guys. And at one point, I wanted to ask her, like, are you okay? Like, do you have some sort of situation? Every single time. So that's those little weird things that you don't expect. Just be ready. And I think at the end of the day, do you have a bonus one, or you don't have none right now that you can think of? But I think at the end of the day, we said it before, and we'll say it again. I think just having those conversations to clear up the suegra beef, to clear up like the daily routines, the personal space, money, just clear everything up. Everything is clear. Everything will function correctly. Not perfect. Things are never going to be perfect. Is our relationship perfect?
No.
It's close to it.
Yeah.
It's close to it, but it's not perfect. And we're always fixing it. We're always
trying.
Adapting. And recently, like, there's been like a little situations that we have to center up and gather ourselves, you know, to be like, hey, ponte las pilas with this, or vice versa. So that's part of relationship, and that's part of growing, you know?
Yeah, and I think what makes it better is when both of you guys actually try. Because like I said on the last podcast, like it's one thing to, one thing is communication, but another thing is comprehension. Like, is he going to get it? Do we get each other? Do we genuinely, like when he has a situation, do I really try or do I blow him off, and vice versa, right? And at the end of the day, I've said this a million times in the past, but whoever you pick, you guys, like whoever you think you might want to be with, make sure you love them how they are. Yeah. Don't think like, oh, he will change or she will change or things will get better. No. If you like them the way they are currently, their goods, their bads, their ups, their downs, okay, move in with them. But if there's certain little things that you're like, oh, one day he'll change. No. Like there's
not even it will only get worse.
Yes, there's only so many people out there in this world. Yes. Why are you so aferrada to that one person? There's going to be somebody out there that's going to be exactly how you want them. Exactly. And if there's little things, like we said with me and Mando, it'll be very minimal things. But if it's something big that you're like, maybe he's not going to change.
Like, for example, man, this guy drinks too much. it's only gonna get worse. You're only gonna stress him more. He's only gonna get older.
Or he gets aggressive when he
It's
drinks.
only gonna get worse. Don't try to change it. You
Or
gotta love him for
he's
where
too
he's at.
celoso.
He's too. Oh, it's only gonna get worse because he's gonna be more possessive of you. Possessive of you. He's only gonna want you more. He's only gonna think you. Yeah.
Like, so
it's
either
not
you
gonna
got to be
change.
okay with him being that type of jealous. Like, no, you can't go out to brunch with your
Yes.
girls. No, you can't go on a girls trip. You got to be okay with that if you're going to be with that man
Right.
because he's not going to change.
From the start, baby.
But if you're the type that, damn, like, once you get with somebody, like, damn, I see Lily Bay always doing brunch with the girls. Like, I hope I do that one day. But your man is super jealous. Olvídate. So either leave his ass and look for somebody else that isn't like that. Or like Calladita, like, that's what you wanted, was okay.
Yeah, way
He's
off
not gonna
subject,
change.
but still on subject. This one right here. By the way, Lily Bay's. Well, by the way, me and Lily Bay are doing a big Labubu giveaway.
Oh yeah, we are.
With JT Sneaks, little Labubus. I wish we had them. We'll bring them in right now after the break. But the reason I bring this up is that one of the rules to enter the giveaway was to follow Impromando, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Hey, I mean, I have all these followers. I have all these entries. I wonder why your following is not growing like crazy. It is growing, but like crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have all these followers, and you don't have.
You would think I have 300K on TikTok. Mando should have 300K
Yeah,
because
let's
if you
say.
love me, you love Mando too.
So
I think, right?
She's like, wait, what if their mans don't let them follow you, right? Because obviously, like, I'm a man and whatever, right?
Yeah, like
so what if there's that toxic shit? You know,
some girls don't want their man following Instagram girls.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
The man doesn't want you following guys. So I get it.
So
Because the
clear it up.
majority of my followers are
women.
So I was like, maybe
Good
that's
thing.
why, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, point of this is that have that conversation. Make sure you guys are clear before moving in, and it might be better versus you guys live 6 months and then bam, everything breaks up and it's a freaking shit show.
And again, another thing is trust. Trust is key. 1,000%. Like, with trust, both of you guys are able to flourish and do things and not have all these little toxic situations and stuff that go on. So make sure you trust your man. Do you trust him to go out to Hooters by himself, or what's that other one?
Ojos
Locos. Do you trust him, or are you like, hell nah? Because are you ready to live your life like that your whole life, like worrying that he's gonna do something if he sees a baddie somewhere?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll be right back. We'll bring in the Labubu so you guys could check them out. And ahorita nos vemos, eh?
What is up, you guys? We are back with part 2 on episode 138, and Mando forgot the Labubu, so he went to go get him real quick so he can show you guys what exactly we are giving away, in case you don't know what they are. But you should, because they are a toy, I'm going to call it, that has been going super viral for this generation. I kind of compare it to when we had our Furbies. Do you guys remember? Furbies were super viral back in the day. Well, ahorita, what's super viral at the moment are these little things called Labubus. And we're doing a whole box giveaways. People are going crazy just trying to get one. We're going to give you the whole box, baby. Box, you guys, which come with 6, I believe.
6, yeah.
Of your choice, different collections. I did a giveaway on both my TikTok and on Instagram, Lily__Bay. You guys have until June 12th to enter as many times as you like.
Every single day if you want, baby.
On June 12th, I will announce the winners. So, yeah, if you guys or your kids or your kids in your classmates, like if you're a teacher, the
whoever.
kids there want them, definitely go.
So
show some
imagine
love.
winning them. Wait, let me get it. Imagine winning them.
Why
right?
you got mine?
Imagine winning them and you have the hottest item, but you don't only have one. You have 6. So that's badass. But just in case you guys don't know, this is Labubu, right? There's a couple things to look at when it comes to seeing
To see if they're authentic.
To see if they're real. Authenticity, right? My bad. So the number one thing is that they must have this little print under the left foot.
What's the little print say?
The little print says Pop Mart, which is the branding, right? Also, make sure they have 9 pinches dientecitos. 9. Make sure you count them. And another thing is make sure these, at least on this collection, make sure their top ears are touching. And that is
their foot.
And their foot. Oh, yeah, the foot is a little crooked too, right? Mm-hmm. It's just so many little details. And like Lily said, I'm excited because it's just a new trend.
Yeah.
At one point, I didn't understand the trend.
I didn't either.
I was like, what the hell? Like, who cares about this?
Give me my Labubu.
Catch.
I didn't either until I got one.
Yeah.
And I was like, And then when somebody asked me, what's the big deal with these things? I remembered. I feel like every generation has their viral things that happen. Like
what was yours?
We had Gigapets, Tamagotchi, Furby babies.
That's
you
way
remember
before
Furbies?
me. That's way.
Ay, Armando, por favor.
No, yeah, I remember.
So yeah, and right now it's the Labubus.
Labubus, yeah. Mm-hmm. And don't bash it. Just enjoy it.
It's a thing.
Just enjoy it. But babe, talking about Labubus and little babies.
Yes.
People on the live said, all right, topic number 2 has to be this. Has to be this.
What?
They said, when or how long do you guys plan on waiting to have babies after the wedding?
Oh my God, people ask us that all the time.
Be 100% honest. Mm-hmm. What's the plan? What's our plan?
The plan is that we're going to start trying right away.
Okay.
One, because I know I am older. Oh my God, se te va a ir el tren. Oh my God, right? I know, it's fine. But ideally, thankfully, I got with somebody, aka Mando, that we both came to an agreement, like we're going to try. And this conversation, he brought it up. One day when we have kids, si no se puede, pues we'll just adopt. Yeah. And that literally like shattered my heart. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's the one that said that. But yeah, we are going to try. We're going to try whatever we got to do. If we got to do, if the natural route happens, great. If it doesn't, then we'll try other routes, IVF or whatever the case is that is needed to be done for that to get done. Yeah. And if none of that happens, pues then we'll adopt. But regardless, we do want to adopt too, right?
Yeah. At one point, yeah, like maybe, well, we don't know.
I want 4 kids, you guys. Okay. I want 4 kids.
Maybe in between.
Ideally, like, I would love to have 2 of my own because I would love to see how little Lily or little Mando would look. And then aside from that, I would also adopt 2 because I feel like there's so many kids out there that don't have a home, don't have loving parents or, So if we all did our little part and helped out these kids, you know.
Wait, why are you still messing with your Labubu?
He's my baby right now.
But yeah, one thing that I get excited for is that Lily Bay is so loving when it comes to kids. And she gets, that's the only time she shows emotion. That's the only time, guys. Like when she sees kids or when she talks to kids, like that's not, my bad. I'll take it back. That's when she shows the most emotion. She shows emotion, my bad. Not bashing you here. She shows the most emotion when it comes to kids, when they accomplish something or when they speak to her, like she'll drop everything and she's right there. So I'm super excited what she would act like or how she would act when it comes to ours. So yeah, that's an exciting phase. And like she said, we did agree on like after the wedding, that's when we're gonna push and make that push. I don't know how long. A lot of people always run into situations like they can't or this or that. We'll worry about that when we get there, right? And that's what we're doing.
It's not anything that makes me not sleep at night. I'm not like, oh my God, se me va a ir el tren. No, I've never been that type. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I just go with the flow, honey. Y si no se puede hacer, I'll figure out a plan B, plan C, no pasa nada. And
for the record, here on the podcast, episode 138, if you had to guess what is going to be what gender will be the first baby, what would it be? And why?
Oh my God, it's going to be a girl.
And why? I already know why.
Because I was bad as fuck. They always say that girls are harder because you have to cuidarlas a little bit more, right?
So it's good for the boy to come out first para que cuide a su sister. Right?
Whatever. Right? But from my past experience and seeing my primas and stuff, all the ones that were desmadrosas all had a girl first.
Okay.
Like they all had to deal with the girls first. Not that it's a bad thing. And all the ones that were super chill, like, they all had boys first,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I have a cousin that had 4 girls and he's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying. He wanted to have a boy, but at that point he's like, that's it. I'm done. But he loves his 4 daughters.
Yeah.
I think having daughters is like having another little angel. Like they're gonna take care of you, they're gonna love you. It's just women are completely different to men. Yeah. Obviously, men, it's great because it's just different. Yeah, but like having women, it's just a different love. And I see a lot of friends, a lot of cousins. They all say that the girl is like complete different. Like they're happy that they had one. And even my compadre, he was wishing for a girl because they're so loving.
Oh yeah, he didn't want boys.
And he was like, I'll get a double of this, no pasa nada, because they get so attached to.
But he ended up getting a boy.
He got a boy, so shout outs to him. But yeah, that is when you should expect me and Lily Bay to have a baby. Ya si pasa por allí coming soon, pues no hay pedo. But that was not planned.
But we've never tried.
Right. Like tried? No, right? Not us giving our business here on
No,
the
we've
podcast.
never tried.
No. Siempre nos cuidamos and we try not to make it happen. Like it's never like, oh my God, fuck it. No, it's not like we don't. So yeah. All right. Moving on. On the podcast, people love this, so I had to bring it back. They said the unhinged generational curses that we should change in 2025. Mexican edition. You ready?
Okay.
Not forcing your kids to finish their plate because you would say, hay niños que no tienen que comer. So from my experience, I used to go to my tío's house and he'll serve us like a Thanksgiving dinner plate.
Adult,
like 3 pieces of chicken, rice, lettuce. Like it was a mountain. And bro, we could not finish that. But we really wanted to finish it because we had to go outside. We could go outside and play after. But before we got up, we had to finish it. So I was there for like 30, 40 minutes just trying to finish it.
Bebé?
Yes. At one point, I was like, you know what? If he's being like this, let me try. So I would get like a napkin, throw some food in there, and then throw it away. Walk to the kitchen, throw some away.
I used to do the same.
Yeah, see. But I think that generational curse or generational thing should change, right?
Yeah, and I feel like you guys know when you should make them try to eat and when you don't. Yeah. Because we know, and we have like random nieces or nephews that they really don't eat too much. So you have to be sitting there hey, tienes que comer, right? Because I feel like a lot of kids go through that phase where they're so picky or they don't want to eat nothing.
Put a McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, or they could go a whole day without eating. And obviously we know that's not healthy, but don't overfeed your kids for sure.
The next one is breaking the curse is actually going to therapy instead of saying, Diosito me va a ayudar. Speaking out your problems. All right, let's say you don't want to go to therapy, but speaking out your problems to your significant other or to a friend or to someone that you really trust, I think that's a better solution than just leaving it out to be like, a ver qué pasa.
Yeah.
Because, problems and stress just start piling up inside your head.
Yeah, you don't know how to
cope.
You just don't know what to do. If you're not speaking it to somebody, you can't get any feedback or tips or techniques on helping your situation. So I would.
And on the next one, I want to know if you went through this, and maybe you did. And what's your take? Not making your daughter the second mom of the house just because she is the oldest. What's your take on that?
I didn't go through that.
You didn't go through that? You didn't have to take care of no kids? It was all good?
Yeah.
But a lot of Mexicans, from our generations, they go through that. They end up being the second mom. They have to go do this, do that, do this. What's your take on that? And,
I wouldn't know because I didn't have to go through that, So I don't see it as horrible, but it just depends how much you're making them do, right? Because I do think to a certain extent it helps basically your kids kind of independizarse, how do I say it? Like you're kind of teaching them how to become independent and how to do things. But at the same time, I know that there's people out there that take 1,000% advantage. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm trying to think. Honestly, no. Like my dad was always there, my grandma. So I never had a babysit. My sister was 2 years younger than me, but we always had somebody to watch us, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing that I would say they would make us do is like clean, but it wasn't babysitting.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And for me, cleaning, I'm happy that they did.
Oh my God.
Because now my house is not messy.
scratch all this. It goes down to this part right here, where you have a daughter of 10, that she's 10 years old, right? And the mom is single. I'm just painting this picture for you. The mom is single, and the daughter is 10 years old, and she has like a 2-3-year-old at home. Pero la mamá se va al pinche pedo. Se va al pedo, se va al bar, se va al club.
No, I don't see that as right.
And deja a the 10 or 12-year-old take care of the little brother. No pasa nada. Now that situation is what I'm talking about.
It just depends, because now that you bring that up, I do know somebody whose daughter has helped her raise.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
But communication, like, hey, mommy, I gotta go to work. Like, the oldest daughter knows that they have no family here, nothing. So she's very understanding.
She takes that role really well.
Yeah, but again, every kid is different. Imagine if her child wasn't like that. That's and very rebellious and whatever, you know? So I feel like you as a parent, you gotta know the limits on what you're doing with that situation, and don't take advantage. Don't be like, I'm going to the club or I'm going to this party. Like, no, she's not your babysitter. I agree to a certain, I agree in some situations. The one that I'm talking about, she's already 15, the daughter, right? Yeah. But in some situations when she could help, that's great, right? But also, be thankful for that and grateful. Don't just use her and expect it.
Like that's your job. No,
exactly.
It's not. Your job is to be a kid.
Exactly.
And to be and learn, not to take care of my daughter. That's my job. But if you help me, you help me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Last one. This one's good because you ladies gotta put your foot down. It says, my husband actually helped me clean. It's not ayúdame. It's his freaking house too. It's not about, hey, can you help me? No, bro. You're not helping me. This is our house. Let's keep it clean.
I never thought about it that way.
It's not help. It's work. It's like if you go to work, it's not help. You're working and that's your job. So let's break that generational curse where the man, oh my God, mi esposo me ayudó a trapear hoy.
Is that why you helped me yesterday?
Like, no, bro. Like, you got to do this.
Yeah.
This is your house too. If you want it clean, you got to clean too.
What did you learn about that?
I learned that, yes.
When did you learn that?
Yesterday. Mexican moms really had husbands that thought cleaning was helping. And literally, I mean, obviously, let's bring it back. How about not our situation, but let's bring it back. If a tree falls outside and the husband doesn't have no hand, it's just him cutting up the freaking tree.
Let me go back. Am I the type to go outside and help you?
Yes.
Okay.
But you're not helping me.
Do I ask you?
No.
I just go
But
help,
we're
right?
not talking about you. We said remove you out of this. The husband's cutting the pinche tree and sweating and everything. And the wife is, no, pues está chingándose su novela. Just watching the novela.
But what if she's inside taking care of the kids so they don't be outside and cooking so he can have food for after?
But then the mom comes outside. Viejo, ¿necesitas ayuda? No, bro, like, he don't need help. You go out there and help him. No questions. Vice versa. You know, even if it's like taking tutti ramas and una pinche caguama pa que, you know? But vice versa. He comes inside and he cleans up too. So it works both ways. That's not bashment at this point.
I'm not bashing. No, it does work both ways. Wait, but I'm like intrigued. So when did you learn this? Because I never have thought about it that way.
This is what it is.
Because
not that I learned it. I mean, a veces me hago güey y no quiero hacer nada.
Usually I'll be like, hey, babe, can you come do this? Or can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?
I guess that has to change, right? I have to say, no, it's not for you. It's for us. Yeah. Then you'll be like, oh my God, me mojé.
You're so stupid.
That's literally what you're going to say. Yeah. All right, well, let's change that perspective.
Because at the end of the day, Mando's not a slob or nothing like that. He's not messy or nothing. Right. And he knows that I genuinely love to clean and that I've taken on that role of like, I'll clean, right? But there was a time, especially when we get super busy at the warehouse, like that I don't have fucking time to clean. I saw somewhere, I forgot, I should have fucking reposted it. Somewhere along my life, I read somewhere that it said, every business that you have, every successful business that you have where you have workers and stuff is like having the equivalent of 30 children.
A la madre. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it gave more examples as to why and all that. But anyways, So there was a time where I had help here at the house because I was getting, what's the word? Like overwhelmed, like it would just set me off. Until I finally got a grasp of my life again, and I was able to organize everything, including work and everything.
Yourself
and I scheduled myself correctly. I finally got a day off now because I didn't have this. When did I start having my day off? Maybe 2 months ago? Mm-hmm. Before that, I've never had a day off in my life, including weekends. Even if you see us out like at an event or something, like we're still working, we're still editing, we're still creating content. But I've never genuinely had like, okay, today is my day off. I get to do whatever I want. Never. So fast forward to now, I understand why I have to ask of certain things from Mando because he's so used to always me doing it. But for me not to get super overwhelmed with shit, now I ask like, hey babe, we need to do this, not just me. And he's gotten real good at it, right?
Yeah. It's been great, and I just try harder too. Like, no te lo dejo todo a ti, you know? But yeah, that is, wait, did we get into, how did we get into this?
The unhinged.
The unhinged, my bad. But yeah, all right. But next segment, babe. Let's go into Lily Bay's favorite segment of the podcast, the Zodiac signs.
Ooh.
The Zodiac part. And I know you guys love this part too. Mm-hmm. And this one is going to go by it's going to go like this. The hardest Zodiac signs to love and why. And then how to love them.
The number one Zodiac sign that is hard to love is Scorpio. Loving a Scorpio is like trying to win over your suegra on the first visit.
Not the suegra.
Almost impossible at first. They don't trust easy. Pero si te ganas su confianza, they'll be loyal forever. The only problem is crossing the border takes time, patience, and a lot of aguante.
So if you wanted to love them, how would you love them? What's their love language?
Scorpio's love language is usually loyalty and an emotional intimacy.
I'm a Scorpio, by the way.
They feel the safest when there's deep trust and privacy.
That's true. That's Scorpio for you.
The second hardest to love Zodiac sign is Gemini. Gemini is literally two people in one body.
Oof.
One day you're at El Cafecito having deep convos. The next day, they're ghosting you like they never met you.
Sheesh. And if you want to love them, what's their love language, babe?
Their love language is words of affirmation and quality time. They need constant mental stimulation and fun convos.
Okay.
I could totally see that.
Next one.
The third hardest Zodiac sign to love is Capricorn. Capricorns will love you by paying your bills, fixing your car, and showing up for you. But do not expect them to write you a love letter or say that I miss you every 5 minutes. Their love language is pure action, no words.
Got it. And if you want to love them, what is their love language?
Acts of service and stability. I fixed it for you. I paid that for you.
Okay.
That's how you say I love you.
Okay, that is the hardest Zodiac signs to love. But if you have them, unfortunately, no, I'm just kidding. If you're already married to them and you already have a full-on relationship with them, we gave y'all ways to love them more and how
and let
to
us
love
know.
them.
Was that pretty accurate or no?
Yeah. I wonder what your suegra. Well, maybe that's a good one. Find out if you really want to fix this. Find out what the love language of your suegra is. And then just hit her with that, you know?
Oh, on first visit?
Yeah,
to
like
see what
just
happens?
hit her with it. So I have this or that suegra edition. We already know where Lily Bay stands with her suegra.
I know what my suegra's love language is. Regalitos.
Oh my God, she loves regalitos. Saludos.
She loves all the regalitos under the world.
This or that suegra edition brings you food all the time, but always criticize you for your cooking, or never brings you food, but stays out of your kitchen. Which one do you rather?
Damn, I like food, so I think I'm okay with her bringing me food and criticizing me.
All right, next one. Loves you in public, but talks behind your back, or cold, but never speaks bad about you.
Cold, but never speaks bad about me.
Okay.
It's fine. I could deal with that.
Next one. Shows up unannounced every week, or doesn't visit you, but calls your husband every single day.
Maybe doesn't visit you, but calls you every day. I don't mind.
So you don't want her showing up unannounced.
Yeah, we're never here.
All right. acts like you're perfect, but secretly compares you to his ex, or
hell nah.
tells you directly what you're doing wrong, but never brings up the ex.
Tells me directly.
Man, you like confrontation, right? Next one, helps with the kids, but gives them bad habits you have to undo, or doesn't help at all, but supports your parenting 100%.
Helps with the kids.
Yeah, you'll fix it después, no?
Fix it después.
All right, last one. Shows up to your house and starts cleaning porque está un poquito sucio aquí. Or walks around the house judging but says nothing.
Shows up to my house and cleans for sure.
1000%.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to close out with some motivation.
Wait, can I bring up a little subject? I just thought about it
course.
right now that we're talking
We
about
gotta make
kids
these podcasts
and
longer.
Suegras and what do you think about influencers? And I'm going to say influencers because those are the ones that are being put out, that get bashed because people are mad that their suegras help so much with the kids.
Oh my God, that is so like hating. You
Yeah.
hating because your freaking suegra doesn't help you. So you're mad that you're seeing this in the public light that that person's getting help. So you're completely freaking hating.
Yeah. Anyway, so the reason why I brought this up is because all of today's conversations kind of made me remember this, and I see it all the time on my friends and influencers that are out there that have kids, and in the comments, they're either bashing because they have help, or their suegra's always with them, or they're like using them, or it kind of goes back to what you asked me about the mom making the kid be the babysitter for their kids, right? But I genuinely don't see a problem with it at all, especially like if the suegra is willing to and wanting to, because she has an opinion. Like that the suegra could literally be like, nah, fam. 100%. And there's a lot of suegras out there that do not help. And I even know some of them. They straight up are like, nope. Right? But there is suegras out there that they love. Like me, I think I'm going to be that type of suegra for sure, that I will die to be with my grandchildren. Like, hell yeah, take me on trips with you. I'll wash.
Like as a suegra, you have more time too.
Yeah, like that's, like I do not have kids, you guys, and I fiend for my nieces and nephews to come over to my house every weekend. Every single weekend. Sure. I don't see it as a, oh my God, I gotta watch these kids. I do not see it like that. So I can only imagine other people feeling like me. That's or true. Being a grandma and wanting to do these things, right? So when I see stuff like that, that's exactly what I think. People are just either hating
because they don't have the support. They don't have the help.
It's sad if that's the case, that you don't have the help. It is sad. Like, and I know people that don't have help, and it sucks. But why hate on somebody that does have the help? Like, growing up, seeing my grandma always wanted to be with us. She'll always want us to come to the house. Still to this day, who calls me almost every other day?
Come eat.
Yeah, my grandma. So it's like, there's grandmas out there that genuinely love to, even support, my tias. Like, if I were to have kids in the future, and let's say I'm going on a trip, and of course, if I'm going on a trip, if I do have the help, why not take them, right? If I were to call my mom, she would, my mom dies to go right now with me anywhere, right? Just so she can help me with whatever little things I need, she thinks, right? I have tias that I could call, and they'll be the same way. They'll be like, oh, hell yeah, they'll go. Like, they genuinely, we all like love the kids. We want to hang out with them. My tias love us. They'll do anything for us. Does that make sense? So when I see them getting bashed, I genuinely feel bad, because it's a lot of bash, and I don't understand. And that's coming from somebody that doesn't have kids, but can relate to their situation, because I do have a village that I will be using one day and getting help from. So yeah, I just don't understand why so much hate for that. And like Mando said, if it was like I haven't seen anyone, but if it was somebody that's always out partying, maybe
wilding out,
maybe I understand a little more. But a lot of these people are maybe work trips or hanging out. They're not doing nothing bad.
That's true.
They're with their kids every other day. Just the 3 days you see them.
I think it's just hating.
At a work trip, at an event or something. Now you're mad. But anyways.
All right, let's close it out with some motivations. You're gonna want to quit, But hear me out. These are the 5 reasons that will make you trust the process, right? Growth takes time. The biggest thing you want, success, love, healing, doesn't happen overnight. If it comes easy, you wouldn't appreciate it. Number 2, delay doesn't mean denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Sometimes you're being prepared for something bigger than you expected. Number 3, struggle builds character. The tough season teaches you patience, discipline, and how to handle what you've been praying for. Number 4, every step is teaching you something. Even the setbacks and detours are shaping you, giving you skills, lessons, and wisdom for the next level. And the last one, you never know who's watching. Sometimes your consistency inspires people you didn't realize people are paying attention. Your process might be giving someone else hope. So that's that. Just trust the process. That's what that's telling me.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining us on this super long episode 138 of the TCR podcast. We'll
Almost
see you
at
guys.
150.
Oh my God. We'll see you guys next week. Nos vemos.
Bye.